Hello and welcome to Moving Pictures Kenya. It's very rare to find somebody doing charity work in the village. Today I'm at a place called Jiggas in Western Kenya, where there is one woman who is changing life in the village. Jiggas is popular for the game of bullfighting. As the men of Jiggas continue their game of bullfighting, this woman is making a difference in the villages. I met her in a supermarket called Ingo Supermarket, and I want her to tell us more about the charity work she's doing in the villages and what difference she's making in the village. My name is Bonventure and this is Moving Pictures Kenya, connecting people, inspiring Africa.
My name is Margaret Mmuka. I am a mother of 6 children, 3 boys and 3 girls. I do business. At the same time, I do community service, whereby I have a team of friends called Hands of Charity, where we come together to step in a gap where there is need. Living in the village has so many challenges. I always stumble on children living with disabilities. So that has made me to have some passion for children and mothers with children living with disabilities. Because actually having a child with a disability, 1 or 2, can really be a problem.
I asked Mama Margaret to share with us the reasons why she started Hands of Charity, and here is her heartbreaking experience.
There was this one family that had 4 children, all living with disabilities. So it is the home that made me want to step in the gap and just hold their hand and walk with them. Because having one child with a disability is always hard. And I imagined just having four children, all crippled, disabled, that they cannot move from point A to point B, made me feel the mother. And of course, I just thought maybe if I stepped in the gap by just helping in one way or another, especially giving them food and clothing, really made me want to be with them. And I have walked with them all this journey until the children, all of them now, have passed on, because it reaches a stage that they don't live longer. Their body becomes wasted and they cringe and now get to a point that they don't live again.
But amidst the excitement of bullfighting lies the story of compassion and selflessness. Mama Margaret finds a lot of joy in working with disabled members of the society. She gives them hope, opens their doors, and shines their way.
So Hands of Charity is a group of friends where we donate money, food, clothes, and go to schools where there are children living with disabilities. The Kenyan government cannot do for us everything, and at times it is our social responsibility to step in the gap just to make that small difference. Going to schools where we make food, we donate clothing, we donate bed sheets to the children who are there. You know, most of these parents of the children living with disabilities sometimes psychologically tortured, and they would even want to abandon the children. So such a child, when they are taken to school, the parents don't even do a follow-up to know how they are eating, how they are bathing, how they are sleeping. So you go to some schools and then it really touches us. You find that there's no food, there is no bedding for those children. Therefore, we find a way where we can just step in and make that small difference in that one day. So we go to these schools, we cook for these children, we make sure that they have eaten enough on that one day. And actually, by doing so, it fulfills us and we inspire other people of the same passion who can come in just to make a difference in one day. And we cannot fix the world, but at least we can try to do that little that we can in that one day. And actually, we've gone to so many schools and we've made a difference. We've left children smiling, we bought them pads, we bought them beddings.
As the men of Haega continue their game of bullfighting, Mama Margaret is making a difference in the community.
There are children with autism, there are children with I don't know how it is called, the bones, I mean the bones just wear, the flesh on the bones just wear out and they remain like they're crippled. They cannot move, they cannot do anything on their own. And then the mental disability and the intellectual disability, where you find somebody's just okay, but when you tell them even how to read or write, these children cannot do it. So we just go there, we give them the learning materials. Such children like those with intellectual disability don't know how to read or even write their names. So they see objects. We take them objects which can help them just identify the letters and numbers.
Mama Margaret, with her hands of charity, makes a difference in the community through school feeding programs, Jigga eradication, and sanitary towel provision.
Oh my God! I mean, in the village there are myths about people living with disabilities, and then the people who get a child, especially a child with a disability in a home, they become stigmatized. So in fact, they tend to hide the child. They don't bring the child out so that they can be helped or even take the child in school. And again, they become psychologically tortured that they wear out so quickly. Instead of taking them for occupational therapy, they don't even take those children. I mean, it is because of the level of poverty in the village that they are not even able to carry the child to hospitals. Because even just because the children who should be carried from point A to point B, they don't even have wheelchairs. They may not be able even to dress them the diapers that they need so that they can take them to hospital. So it becomes a challenge, and the villagers, when they see such a thing happening, they assume that it is witchcraft, and then the person becomes stigmatized and they don't even want to let that child get out of the home.
Unlike many NGOs which focus on major cities in Kenya and especially in the slums, Mama Margaret's efforts are concentrated in the villages where she has spent all her lifetime.
Because I have lived in the village all my life, and I interact with these villagers, I see what happens with them, I share their challenges. That is the reason I find myself doing it in the village, because I know that mother, I know what those mothers go through, because I meet them daily. And being a shopkeeper, I see so many people and women of that kind. I know what 100 shillings can do for that woman in the village. And especially now when you have a child with disability, that is an added challenge that we may not be able to handle on your own. So that is the reason I got touched and just found myself doing it.
For some of these learners, a meal shared at school may be the only meal for the day. It is therefore no wonder that Mama Margaret has been nicknamed Madam Rice in some of the schools.
There may be no food at home, and then when you go to school, you find that there's no food at school. It really is not a motivation for the children, the rural children living in the village. So when I went to one school and I found children sleeping in class, they had not even had breakfast. So it really touched me, and I thought, if we can just come together, we contribute food, rice, mafuta, cooking oil, bread and soda. We go there, we cook for them for that one day. I felt it really makes a difference, and the children loved it, because actually there is one school that they have nicknamed me Madam Rice, because I go there, I cook for them rice, they eat, and the giggles they make and the thank you they give me really makes me want to do more.
In her own little way, Mama Margaret is creating a huge impact on the community. Every visit to a school brings a lot of joy and excitement and puts a smile on the face of every learner.
In Kiswahili they say, hujafa hujaumbika. So when you find a person or a parent with a child living with disability, they don't need our sympathy, but they need our empathy and support. For us to live well with them and for them to accept that it has happened, there's no way they are going to undo it. It is us now to accommodate them, to work with them, to help them carry the challenge or share that challenge with them.
I'm going to your school, sasa hii shule imekuwa yangu. By the way, madam, this is my school. Everyone tells me, Magi, shule yako ya rise and shine. So, this is my school.
It's my message to people out there. There are so many things in our houses that we may not be using, or we want to declutter our house but we don't know where to take them. Electronics, or even you have a person who has been living with a disability and they have a wheelchair that they are not using. We are the people who really want. I'm the person whom you can give all those things because I know where I will take them. I have been to Rise and Shine School. That one is a school for physically handicapped children. I have been to Lunganyiro School. That is a school for physically handicapped children. I have been to Busilwa School. That is a school for mentally handicapped children. So when we get there, most children are thrown in those institutions. The parents just put them there and they go away. So the people managing these institutions, actually, it becomes very hard for them to feed them because of what is happening in the country. But if we had people who can bring whatever they are not using in their homes, then they can really be good. It can be really be a help to those children.
Kusema ukweli, hata mimi mwenyewe nimebarikiwa, sijakataa. Na maybe nabarikiwa kwa sababu nakuja kusaidia watoto kama hawa na hawa wenzangu wote ambao tuko nao.
Most of the people living in the villages have mud houses, and if they don't take good hygiene of themselves or even how to take care of the house, most of the time the children find themselves with Jiggas. And because of poverty, it also is one thing that contributes to the Jigga menace in the village. And when one child has Jiggas, they go to school, they mix with others, then you find that school that most of those children will have Jiggas.
I want you to share with me an experience. Now this one is from the village, where you went to the village and got something that really touched your heart.
There was this one day I was called because they know I do a lot of charity. So I went to one home and I found a child who is crippled. The father had left him in that house for almost 2 weeks and had closed him in the house for almost 2 weeks. So the villagers, the neighbors were asking where the father is or even the child. So when they opened the door, they actually found the boy crippled in a corner, sleeping there, but he wasn't dead. God lives with these people. I was surprised that the child was still alive and had not eaten for a whole almost 2 or 3 weeks. He was just there. And even the beddings were as clean because after eating is when you can go even to the toilet. He hadn't eaten, he hadn't drank anything. It really touched me as a parent. You know, when you have a child with disability, it's a responsibility of a mother. So as a mother, I really got touched. I told myself, if a child can be abandoned by their own parents, it made me cry. So it was just that I took the child, asked one neighbor to take care of him as I went to look for food for the child. And as we speak today, the child is doing well. He is eating. Of course, he cannot walk, but he is eating. we were able to find a wheelchair for him. So that is what really makes me want to do more, and there are more and more of these stories in the villages that we may not know.
Okay, and finally, there are people who may want to partner with you, or who may want to support you, or who may want to sponsor somebody. What is your message to them, and how do they get hold of you?
If there is anyone out there who is listening to me and would want to support me, my name is Margaret Mmuka. I have a page on FB. I'm called Muhari Mwisuha because Muhari Mwisuha means marriage to Isuha people. You can find me on that page on FB, or you can find me at Ingo Supermarket, Khaega, Kakamega County. My telephone number is 0722 249 138. If you can believe in me and see what I have been doing and be able to partner with me, then I'll tell God, thank you so much for making a difference and touching someone's life.